there, it's Amy Lewis from KFBK, The Morning Show, along with Brandon Haefele from Catalyst Mortgage, the CEO and founder. Okay, so you found a home of your dreams and you want to buy it, right? You need to get a home loan. And that means you need to pay attention to interest rates because you want to lock in a good rate. First of all, what does it mean, Brandon, to lock in a good rate?
Well, really, Amy, when you go through the process, you get pre-approved, your offer's accepted, congratulations. And now you're working with that lender to secure the interest rate, and based off of the program you're doing, whether it be an FHA, VA, conventional, but you're going to lock the interest rate, and that's also whatever term you're doing, a 10, 15,
right.
20, 25, or 30-year term. So you're going to
lock.
lock.
Can you do a 100-year term?
Can't do 100, but 40 years is coming back as well.
Yeah,
so
oh, it is,
40
okay.
years starting to come back. But you can go ahead and lock that interest rate. And you're locking it for 15 days, 30 days, 45, 60, and on new construction, you can lock it really all the way up to 180 days in the beginning process, just to make sure that that rate is secured and guaranteed for you.
Let me ask you this. If you lock a rate in for 30 days and the deadline is coming and you know you're not going to make it, can you pay to extend that period?
That's a great question. Absolutely. When you have a rate lock expiration coming up, you absolutely can go ahead and pay with that lender to have it extended.
Okay.
At the same time,
do you have to pay a lot?
It depends. It depends on that lender's policy. It could be anywhere from a cost per day of a certain fee to a quarter point for 15 days. It really depends on the lender.
Okay.
And again, this is stuff that's up front when we're shopping, and as we've recommended to consumers in the past. These are things that you want to ask for. You want to know their policies. But more importantly, with some lenders, if the market is better, let's say interest rates have actually gotten better from when you've locked,
right.
they'll let you relock, or if they're the same, they'll let you relock that loan at no additional cost. Some lenders, however, do not offer relocks at all. So again, it's one of those things up front, you have to do your research and know what that company's policy is.
Okay, a number of times we've talked, and I mean we've been doing this for almost 2 years. So you've talked a lot about floating, like floating a loan, or so define exactly what that means.
So the term float,
yeah,
you're really meaning that you're in the process of doing a purchase or refinance. They have already gone ahead and send you the loan disclosures. You've signed those disclosures. Appraisal's been ordered, but you're going through the process, but your rate is not locked.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's floating in the market, floating where rates are going up. It's the cost to get the same rate you might have wanted in the beginning might be higher, or if rates go down, the cost for that same rate might be less. So essentially, you're really just in a limbo until you decide to lock. Now, why do consumers do that, and why do lenders sometimes recommend that? And by the way, in this market today, I do not recommend a floating rate at all. But why is it important, for some people to do it? If our interest rate, let's say, using examples of 4.5 today, and the cost today for that 4.5 is a quarter point. There's a quarter point discount, let's say. Well, tomorrow, let's say, interest rates and more people are investing in mortgage-backed securities. That cost for that same 4.5 might actually be maybe only 0.1, or there might be a credit the next day. So when people are floating, sometimes they're doing it to either A, make sure that their cost expense that they're going to have to pay for that rate is lower, or B, they're trying to get a bigger credit to cover their closing costs. That's the main reason why people float. But in this market, again, I don't recommend it at all.
How important is it to lock in a rate? Seriously. I mean, because you have adjustable rates, right?
Absolutely.
And our first loan that we got when we were a very young, newlywed couple, we got an adjustable rate. But Stuart, and you know him very well now, he was nervous about that from the moment we got it, because eventually you have to lock in a rate, and the timing of that is intense.
It really is. And what's improved from those days to now is
those days now.
Those days, I'll say that, is interest rates. With now, if you lock with a lender, certain lenders have policies of float down. So let's say you lock a 30-year fix today, but let's say in 2 weeks from now, interest rates are getting better during this refinance or purchase process.
Right.
They will float you down to the lower market rate at no additional cost. So instead of a 4.5, maybe you can now get a 4.3 or potentially a 4.2. Or that 4.5 did not have a credit for closing costs, but now the market has improved, so now they can give you a credit. But these are upfront things with lenders. A lot of lenders, and I'm talking 75% that I can say just off the top of my head do not offer a float down policy. You typically get that with investors that will sell to multiple, or lenders that sell to multiple investors that actually have different resources to do it, where most investors just don't want to, or most lenders do not want to offer it, because there's also a cost when we float a rate down.
Yeah,
if I float a rate down to a client, we might have to have an underwrite redone, we might have to have certain things redone on that file.
Your life is difficult.
It might be a little more difficult for the lender.
Yeah.
But if it's a
I know what you're
benefit,
saying.
if it's a benefit to the consumer, that's what's important.
Yeah, okay. You said something that kind of piqued my interest. Is anybody really getting a 40-year loan?
They are starting to come back, yeah, absolutely.
On homes?
On homes, yes. Yeah.
But they don't have an intent of staying there for 4 years.
I mean,
In this day and age.
you never know. I mean, people are living 80s, 90s.
Well, no, not just that, but I mean, you actually do have more people telecommuting, right? And so you can stay at home and you can do your job from home.
Absolutely.
So
Well, I mean,
maybe you're still, I don't know, 40 years though, Brandon.
we are seeing the 40 come back, and really it's for debt to income ratio purposes. You're able to get more house because that term is now stretched out, so the monthly principal and interest payment is lower. So you're going from having a 30-year loan where the payment could be here to a 40-year where the payment's actually down.
Okay, before we go, I'm going to really flip the switch on you.
Okay.
When somebody wants to pay off their home loan, like they love their home, they've been in it for 15, 20 years, they want to pay off that loan. Do you pay off the principal mortgage first, or what's the best way to pay off that loan?
Well, if you're going to pay off, are you talking about pay off in full?
Yeah,
Or just a straight
yes.
payoff. I have the money, I'm
Pay
going to pay it
off?
off?
Oh, no, not like in one lump sum,
Okay.
but like you want to do it in, say, 10 years.
Well, really, you're going to want to go ahead and look at first off, bi-weekly payments is one of the best things. You're essentially making extra payments a year by doing bi-weekly. But you can always make principal payments directly to the principal.
That's
every
what I
month.
meant, the
Yeah,
principal.
you can actually do that to the principal, and that will shorten the overall amortization schedule, meaning shorten the term of payment. One thing we talk about with consumers right now, because cash out refinance is big.
Yeah.
People are paying off debt and
Yes.
so on. But what we're recommending is go ahead and refinance. But let's say you're 4 years into that term, because again, the goal is to pay off your home. Refinance to a 26-year loan, or refinance to a 20-year loan, whatever. Let's say
Can you
paid
do a
in.
26-year loan?
Absolutely. So, but again, this is also lender
I didn't know.
specific. Certain lenders do not offer it. This is part of shopping around and educating yourself. Certain lenders will not offer it. Shop around. But if you've paid it down 5 years, or you've paid the balance down 10 years, don't reset back to a 30.
Yeah.
Go ahead and refinance, pay off that debt to that 20-year loan. And there's several examples where people have done that exact thing, paid off all their debt. Their payment, their overall monthly output is now still lower by doing that. And then you're not wasting and restarting a term all over.
I can't throw him a curveball. He's just got it all in his brain of his. All right, so that's the Catalyst Report this time around. And again, if you want more information, stick here to the Catalyst Facebook page, or you know what? Check the other reports that we've done over the last 2 years. You will learn so much. You can also go to catalystmortgage.com, of course, too.